Good morning. It is time for just a word from the Word. Happy Tuesday. Our passage this morning comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 30, and verse 1. And it reads in the King James, "And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister," speaking of Leah, "and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die." If you don't know the story, just a really quick recap. Jacob married sisters, Leah and Rachel. Leah was able to bear Jacob children. Rachel was not. Rachel was extremely jealous of her sister because in that day, bearing children was a sign of God's blessing. And it was also important to the family to continue on the family name. And it was considered, if you are unable to bear children, that you just weren't good. It had everything to do with your self-worth. So coming to Rachel, and she's watching her sister bear child after child after child. And she's like, this isn't right. So instead of saying it's me, which that's a good lesson to learn, she goes to Jacob. He's the one that would father the children anyway. And she says, Jacob, I've got to have children. If you read on in Genesis 30, Jacob gets really mad. He's like, am I the one that can really give you children? God's really the only one that can give you children. Basically, take it up with him. Rachel does. God honors Rachel's cry, and she bears, Joseph. But it's Rachel's cry. It's the cry of her heart that grabbed my attention this morning in prayer. Those of you that are watching, you probably know me. I turned 50 this year. I've never been married. I've never had any children. In fact, life has been so that I am actually unable to bear children, even if I were to get a husband. And there are times, even now as a 50-year-old woman, that I'm like, wow, sometimes my arms just ache to hold a baby of my own. It is that motherly instinct that desires to have children. Now, I don't say that for you to feel sorry for me. I say that to make the point that there is an ache, there is a desire that is natural and normal within a woman to want to have children. That's what was going on with Rachel. She was aching to hold a baby in her arms. Now, if we look at this from a spiritual standpoint, and that's really where I want to go this morning quickly, there ought to be an ache in the spirit for you and I who are walking with the Lord that would want to reach hungry souls for the Lord. We should have that ache in our spiritual arms that would want to bear and hold children, to raise people up, to disciple people in the ways of the Lord. We need to have Rachel's ache in our hearts. So this morning's just a word from the Word is a convicting question. When's the last time you wept over lost souls? When's the last time you asked the Lord to lead you to someone that was hungry to hear the truth? You and I must have that ache in our spirits that pushes us to reach beyond ourselves. It's not popular anymore, but there is a lost and dying world. And if we don't reach them, They will go to hell for eternity. My prayer for you this morning is that God would give you Rachel's ache, that you would have an ache, a pain if it needs to be, that will push you to reach out to others for the kingdom. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. May you be blessed with Rachel's ache. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow.